Okay. For all of you guys who support child support, why do you do that when women have options for an unwanted pregnancy? So if some woman decides she wants a baby and wants you to pay for it, how come you have no options when they do? Now, of course, we'll see. Unwanted pregnancy isn't uncommon. Almost half of all pregnancies in the United States are unintended. Of course, there are. Even the ones that say are intended are usually unintended. If you become pregnant, you either not ready to be a parent or you don't want to have a baby, know that you're not alone and you do have options. Really, why? What happened to keep it in your pants? Men, by the way, should never be told to keep it in their pants because we don't have any options. Condoms are not an option, really, because they get in the way of sexual pleasure. If a woman wants sexual pleasure, she can just take her pill. You can choose to terminate the pregnancy. Yes, that's true. But it's not abortion, right? It's the other option that I'm going to focus on. Remember, the right decision is the one that's healthiest for you, really. So a woman, she can ditch her children, and only you can determine that. Really? Hey, guys, can you determine it? No, society tells you what it is. If you know you don't want to have a baby, but are unsure what to do next, it's okay to ask for help. Wow. These women are given help when they don't want their babies. Your spouse, parents, friends, or other supportive family members or therapists can help talk you through the decision. Men, do you have any decisions? Now we're going to go right past abortion because like I said, the important part is not the abortions, even though get past that, it's the adoption. If you aren't comfortable with the idea of having an abortion, you can put your baby up for adoption. Really, a public or private adoption agency can help you find a family who raise your child the way you want it. Wow, they're not even beggars. There's these women who get knocked up and don't want their babies. They don't even have to beg for just anyone to come. They can uh, choose and select who looks after their children for them for free, by the way. Are any of these young girls who put their babies up for adoption, do they have to pay these new parents child support? No, they don't. Some agency will even pay for your medical and legal costs. Wow. So these women don't even have to pay anything. They don't have to pay anything, right? So why do men have to pay anything? This is not about the children, by the way, because the child doesn't grow up and to choose whether he or she wants to stay with their mother or these new parents. It's not about them. An independent adoption is done directly between you and the adoptive parents. Their parents might be your relatives, friends, or people you found through a trusted source, such as attorney or social worker. So society is allowing women to dump their children onto their friends and relatives. So some woman decides to get pregnant because a man can't force her to abort, right? Uh, how come he doesn't say, well, just go find some friends to take care of you and your baby? Some states don't allow independent adoption. If they're legal in your state, an attorney can help you with the paperwork. Types of adoption subs can be closed or open. Closed option means you'll have no contact with the adoptive family in the future. Once the adoption has been finalized and records are sealed, your child may have access to these records when they turn 18. And an open adoption will allow you to have some contact with the adoptive family. That contact can range from letters and phone calls, a visit to your child. So in some cases, you can have an open adoption where someone just takes care of the baby for you. Problem solved. And yet you can still show up the doorstep and say, hey, mommy's here. Greet me with love. Wow. That's incredible. Or at least I would say it was incredible, but it's no longer unbelievable to me. Now, we don't have to go too far. I don't think I'll put this in the description box so you guys can read the whole thing. The point I'm making is these women can abandon their children. And so when they make men pay child support, it has nothing to do with the child. It has nothing to do with the child. The child is there for the mother to do whatever she wants with. So when they make a man pay child support, what they're really doing is making him pay a woman for past association. It has nothing to do with the child. The child is at best a catalyst. He or she is a tool. It's like, oh, this woman has a child. Now the courts, society can make a man give all his money to some woman, whether they get along anymore or not, or having to do with each other or any not. It doesn't matter. This is the frame any true men's rights activist has to hold. The frame is this has nothing to do with children. Child support is not child support. And it's not, I used to jokingly call it woman support, but it's not a woman support either. It is just male slavery to a woman who's given him access to her once. It's the ultimate in prostitution. That's what it is. It's prostitution. The state is the pimp. The legal system is the pimp. Because as you see, when these babies aren't wanted by their mothers, the mothers can just toss them. They have options, where the men have zero options, because again, it's not about the child. And so no man should be taking the keep it in your pants attack without fighting back, at least verbally. You should be able to say, no, 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 this has nothing to do with me. I have no choice in any of this matter. The men do not have the contraceptive pill to give them the same freedom as women do. So they can't force women to abort. And by the way, abortion is there for women if they just want to get rid of the child, and problem solved. So I know I'm kind of belaboring this, but this is why there has to be effective MRM that destroys child support. It should not exist, and it should never have existed. Women are getting pregnant on purpose to make a man a slave. The legal system is an unjust system ready to pounce for her. And society is all for it. There's all kinds of guys who show up and try the old, it's his responsibility. Women have zero responsibility. Matter of fact, this has nothing to do with the child. The child is itself an option for women, whether they feel like impregnant, whether they feel like not, whether they feel like killing the child off, whether they feel like giving the child away, throwing the child away, make it someone else's burden. They have all these options. So this, again, the legal system is not about the child. It's not in favor of the child. It's only for the woman. And it's used to attack men. The legal system attacks men to give to women. The legal system is a pimp. Thank you.